Hey everybody, welcome back to Mobile Production and Networking. I'm your host, Mike Bodine. First off, I wanted to say welcome back. It's been a few months since I recorded my last video, and that's because of multiple reasons. We sold our house. We're building a house, so we're in a temporary living condition at a condo, and it's not very ideal for a studio. So in the meantime, in the middle of all this, I got a new job doing multimedia communications. So here's my new office. This is also going to be my studio. I wrapped the walls, as you can see behind me, added some lighting, did a bunch of cool stuff. So I hope you like it. I wanted to start a series about mobile gear. I think one of the main questions I had when I was starting out was all about mobile gear. And I remember being infatuated with finding out whether or not a BeastGrip Pro could hold a moment case, because I knew it didn't have a moment bayonet adapter to it, but I wanted to use the cage. And at that time, I think that was a couple years ago, it was so difficult to find that. So I just want to create this series to hopefully help you what gear to pick, what gear not to pick, and what gear maybe is on your maybe yes, maybe no. So here we go. We're going to get right into it. Hey everybody, we're back, and now I'm going to talk to you about rigs. So the first thing I want to talk about is the first rig I ever bought, and I went a little crazy. I already had the moment lenses, and then I wanted something a little more to carry with me. And I got to tell you, I went full hog on this, and I went to the BeastGrip site and found BeastGrip, and I bought this monster of a heavyweight. So this is the Beastcage 12 Pro Max. This is the BeastGrip 3x tele lens. This is a Rode shotgun microphone. This is a Litra professional studio light rechargeable thingy. This right here is the first thing I bought. This is the actual grip. It's called the BGS 300. You can see right there. And then this thing basically allows you to clamp all this crap to it. So then I bought these Smallrig handles because the wood handles look cool. These are meant for camera cages or any kind of cages. But to mount them on this, I had to buy another little handle that used to have a handle on it. I took the handle out just so I'd have two places to bolt these on, and it bolts to the top of the cage. And my whole intent with this rig was to hold this like this and film like this without a gimbal, and kind of have those smooth pans and transitions and whatever, and kind of walk along and all that sort of stuff. At the end of the day, this thing is really heavy. I would say there are some cool things to this, like if you use these cold shoes, if you have the Rode Go microphones, they clamp right on the cold shoe mounts. It's really cool, which you could have your mic and your receiver right next to each other, all attached to your phone. But honestly, I never use this, and since I got a better mic, I don't use it for that either. The first couple episodes of Mobile Production, I did record this just using as a mic stand for the Rode Goes, so which that was pretty handy. And I will say this, if you start buying gear, and even though you might not find a use for it at first, there may come a time later on in the future then you realize, hey, I could use this for this. So I just have a bunch of crap laying around that all of a sudden I go, wait a minute, I have that thing. So do you need this? Absolutely not. Would I recommend buying it? Probably not. I typically use a gimbal for the purposes this would serve, and I don't ever mount lights on top, and I don't usually mount microphones on top. The only time I would do that is if I was in a tripod setting, which I have hooked this to the bottom of a tripod. It's kind of handy. Overall, no, I wouldn't recommend it. I do, however, would recommend the Beastcage. And if you want to see what this Beastcage looks like without all this extra crap on it, I have one right here. So we have the Beastcage 11 Pro, and this is what it comes like. It basically is this metal cage. It has these inserts right here that you can take on and off. It comes with 4 of them. It comes with a 37 millimeter, which is what you see here. This would work well with BeastGrip lenses. A Moondog lens I have has it. Moondog offers a variety of connections for their lenses. There's also one for the Moment bayonet mount. There's also one for 17 millimeter mount for like Sandmark lenses. And it also comes with one for the old BeastGrip lenses. I think they're called the M series mounts. I don't have any of those, so I never use that. But they're pretty handy. All you do is you unscrew this thing right here, and these pieces come out. And that's what it looks like right there. With the old phones, this being the main camera right there, you would put it this way. On the 12 Pro Max, you would put them this way. But I will say that these are different sizes than the Pro Max version, so they're not interchangeable. This is pretty cool because it has a bunch of 1/4 inch mounts all over it. You can control your volume of your phone, you can control the power, and it has a cold shoe mount right there. But basically how you get this out of here is you push down on this and you pull up, and your phone comes out just like that. So the one downside to these would be that they are phone specific. So obviously this one says BeastGrip 11 Pro. Now the other one that I just showed you is specifically for the 12 Pro Max. So if you plan on keeping your phone for a while, these are a good option to have. Yes, they're very handy. It's nice because it's always perfectly aligned with the lens. You don't ever have to worry about anything like that. Once you have the right setup in there, it's exactly in the center of the lens. I mean, that's why these are great. The problem with it is if you get a new phone, new rig, you have to buy completely a new one, and they usually take about 4 to 6 months for them to release one because Apple does not give the manufacturers any kind of information until the phone actually comes out. So then they have to go to production, and it usually takes a while to get them. Alternatively, the tried and true version of the cages I would suggest would be BeastGrip Pro. Now this is my favorite cage I've ever used. The best thing about this cage is it's lightweight, it's super durable. You can fit any phone pretty much in here. I've got the 12 Pro Max in here right now. And I also have if you can see that right there, that is the Moondog Labs. They make little adapters for the BeastGrip Pro. And they have this one, which is a 37 millimeter mount, which is specifically for their 37 millimeter mount anamorphic lens. But they also carry a Moment one. I don't have that one because it's out of stock. And they carry a 12.5 millimeter one. And that one I did buy because my shift cam lenses that I recently bought are 12.5 millimeters. So it came in really handy. The bad part is it only fit the anamorphic lens. All the other lenses are too big on the outside to screw into that hole right there. So, but I really like their anamorphic lens, so I'm glad I bought it. So basically with this cage, you have these screws right here that can come completely off, and you can take this whole thing apart. If you have a Moment case and you're using Moment lenses, you can still keep the whole cage together, or you can just do this. Put it on there like that, and then these handles don't come with it. I just put them on there. But if you want to do a run and gun, there you go. You're all set. It's got a cold shoe mount at the top. You can buy additional cold shoes, which I did for each side. It's got 1/4 mounts at the bottom, as you can see where I had that handle. And if you want to put it on a tripod, that's a good option for that. But this is just a great cage because you can adjust it to size. You can put it on phones. This is great for Android users. If, you know, there's so many Android phones out there, and a lot of the mobile manufacturers do not make specific cages or anything like that directly towards Android. I know Moment makes some of the higher flagship Samsung phone cases, but if you really want an all-around thing, I mean, you just can't beat this setup right here. This is my tried and true. I have 3 of these. I have tried the Beastcage as compared to the BeastGrip Pro on my gimbal, and I much prefer this on a gimbal. You can slide it close together like this, so your width isn't as wide, and you can get it balanced better on your gimbal. And with these, when you have your lens in there, this would be the normal way you would shoot, but since it's super top heavy, once you put a lens on this, you have to mount it upside down on your gimbal, and it's still sometimes pretty difficult to balance on a hybrid gimbal. So my vote would be this. I know there's other cages out there. Ulanzi makes some. There's some ones that aren't even available anymore. I would love to see other people comment and talk about cages they have. After this, I'm going to go into some like minimalistic setups without using the cages, some clamps, things like that. So we'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back and we're going to talk about handles and different things like that. I did forget a rig that I did have, which I'll feature at the end of this. So let's get right to it. So first off, we're going to cover, this is a pretty popular one. It is called the Shoulder Pod. This is the V1, the version 1 that came out. There is a V2 that looks quite a bit different. Another guy in the group has one of those, and I think he's going to be doing a review soon. But this was basically the first kind of clamp that I had, and I've used this a lot. It's basically a screw to tighten sort of deal. So it takes quite a bit of effort to screw it on tight and screw it on back. But other than that, it came with one of these sweet wooden handles, which I've ordered several of those since. They're kind of hard to come by, but they're super lightweight. But this is your good run and gun lightweight option. I would highly recommend it. I have this on the 12 Pro Max right now with the shift cam case and the ultra wide lens, and it's a pretty good option. I've used it several times. It kind of looks like that from the side, but that's just telling you that it's got enough pressure on there. So I would use that. I would highly recommend that. One of my very first ones, actually, before that, was this thing. This is a Joby. It's got a 1/4 inch mount on the bottom, and it kind of goes both ways. It kind of you can rotate your phone vertically. You can rotate it horizontally, and it's got a cold shoe on the top. And you can also angle it with this little deal right here, so you can angle it back and forth. I found this a lot more useful for phone stands. So if you ever want a cool phone stand, it's kind of a little bit rickety. You can also, it has quarters shoe mounts because GorillaPods make arms that you can go on there, so you could hook up a microphone over here or a light over here. It's kind of like an intro. A lot of people get these, like me, when they first start. I don't use these very often anymore, but they are decent. But the best choice of everything, I would say for sure, is the Beast clamp. The Beast clamp is the most solid clamp I've ever used. It's basically, you unscrew it right here, and there you're out. So it's that simple. This is adjustable. So you just slide it up and down like that, and then you put your phone in there the right way. And once you get it in there, you kind of hold it down with your hands tight, and then just screw this on, and there you go. I got this on the Sandmark case with the anamorphic lens, 1.55. It's a great thing. I found so many uses for this. I would love to have another one, but this is the only one I have. There's actually different 1/4 inch mounts all over this thing. There's a cold shoe on the top, and there's a cold shoe on the bottom as well. So you can, it's interchangeable. It's pretty great. I would highly recommend it. It's solid. It's a solid piece. and wherever you go, you know, if I were to pick one, this is the one I'd pick. So, and the last thing I wanted to mention is one of the cages that I didn't talk about originally. Smallrig makes one for the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I bought it on pre-order, and it finally came. I've had it for a while now, but basically this is what you get. So this is a cage that fits directly, just like the Beast cages. This only works with the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and it also only works with bayonet lens mounts, like the Moment lenses. It comes with this little handle here. It's pretty cheap, but I can't complain. It works well. It is a single screw in, but it has two little notches in there so to keep this thing straight so you can't turn it. There's some 1/4 inch mounts over there. This is plastic. This is metal, and it gets kind of loosey-goosey there, but you can tighten all this stuff up. It's normal screws in here. And how you put your phone in there is you just open that up, slide your phone in there like that, and you clamp until you hear that little click, and there you go. So that is, I got this and I thought it was pretty cool. I used it for a little bit, but to me it feels just a little wonky, even though you have, you know, you tighten this up, it'll come untightened fairly easy. The bayonet mount is nice. So that is great for Moment lenses. So well, that's all I got for this episode. I look forward soon to part 2. I don't know what I'm going to cover next, but I have a whole list of things. So if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see your comments, and I hope to see your thoughts, and I hope you join our Facebook group. We're getting a lot of activity over there. I'm just excited to talk about this stuff. So I love it. I do it for a living. With my new job I told you I just got, all I film here is mobile, and no one notices and no one cares, because if you produce good stuff, then that's all that matters. So don't be afraid to get out there, film stuff, do a little weird stuff. I just got a car mount. I had a suction cup on my hood yesterday, and I was driving all around town and filming, and I did it through the night and everything else. So that'll be coming too. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.